Hello, beautiful friends. If you're new to my channel, please click the little subscribe button and the bell so you get notifications when I release new videos. And if you've been with me for a while, welcome back and thank you for your loyalty. In this video, I'm going to call this the beanbag series because I recently just moved. You might have already known that from another video. And my furniture didn't arrive. So I am doing my work for my beanbag, which is probably my favorite thing to do anyway. I might just make it a thing. But today I'm talking about not feeling enough. I just got off my monthly membership call a few minutes ago, and one of my clients said, Candace, I'm noticing a theme in this group. I think we all just don't feel enough. That's true, and there's a reason why. I'm going to explain it in this video. It has to do with emotional intelligence, mirroring, and the fact that so many of us are still living based on societal rules rather than universal laws within. Watch this video. So let's talk about this. It's a huge dis-ease in the human experience where we feel not enough. Why don't we feel enough? It's become super clear to me doing this work for years now and doing my own inner work for literally 20 years. I really had to dive deep inside for answers because what I realized with almost everyone I've ever worked with, if we have an emotional wound, meaning we have triggers, we have patterns we don't want in life, we have coping mechanisms that aren't healthy, this is because of an emotional wounding, but really what that comes from is an uncertain identity. What that comes from is not being properly mirrored. And how could we really be properly mirrored? Let's think about it. We're born into this emotional dark age. Emotional intelligence is what I teach because I felt so much pain around the emotional lack in my home, in my environment, in my school, and everything growing up. And being a Cancer and being, emotionally sensitive and highly intuitive, I felt like this is what was missing. I remember making my first college paper. You could pick whatever you wanted. It was as if you could write a book about it. And mine was called Emotional Intelligence. And I remember thinking, I'm probably not going to get the schooling I need for this in school. And so I traveled the world for a lot of years and traveled and studied spirituality and religion and self-awareness and emotions and all that stuff. And I got what I needed. And what I realized is what we need is not in the system. The system's actually broken. And I'm going to talk on this. And some people might have strong opinions. Great. Comment below. I'd love to talk to you about it. But our society is not whole. It's based on, do you measure these things? Are you pretty? Are you rich? Are you successful? Do you come from this kind of a home? Do you blah, blah, blah? Do you drive this car? These are all externals, and these are all standards, societal rules, societal standards. And if you don't reach those, you're told you're not enough. You're not measuring up. What's so unfortunate is so many of us accept that as God, accept that as truth, when really societal rules are not universal laws. You were born whole, and then you were put into a socialization system that made you think that you were not whole. There are things missing. There's things that aren't good enough. There are things that aren't being validated or mirrored or accepted. Oftentimes we're born into a family with a narcissistic parent or a wounded parent or a dysfunctional family. And so when we come from dysfunction, we can't be mirrored as complete and whole and perfect. If you have a parent that doesn't think they're enough, you need to be the things, their extension, to make them feel enough, so you can't really be you. There's all these different dynamics that I discuss in my program, Emotional Rehab, which you can check below as well. There's so many of these things. There's so many. And so we all grow up in a way thinking we're not enough because we're looking outside of ourselves to these rules that aren't based in universe, God, worthiness. They're based in what's wrong with you and what's not enough. So it makes sense, doesn't it? But then when you don't get what you need, say emotional needs or mirroring at home or at school or in your job or in your relationship, you keep looking outside of yourself for that. And after I did that for so many years, what I realized is I did a full turn inward. And I said to myself, I've accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish at a pretty young age. I was having a pretty awesome life, and I was feeling like shit inside. And so, excuse me, I said, it's not out there. Might as well look in here. And how do I do that? And now I've always had this deep, deep insight, this ability to look inward. So for me, it was really natural to look into my emotional self and really dissect it all and understand myself since no one else was understanding me. And what I realized is you become enough when you line up with your own wise guide inside, meaning you get real about how you feel. When you're being honest and you're living in alignment with that honesty, there's this feeling of integrity. Things start to align. When you start to align with who you truly are, you engender the participation of the universe's support because the universe and you are the same. You're made from that. You're not made from society. When you're focused on this ego-based external way of achieving and power and, competition and jealousy, you don't have the participation of the support of the universe. You have supportive people that can be conditional and leave and not leave. But when you have the support of the universe because you're being honest with who you are and you're living in alignment with your true self, you notice synchronicity. You notice a kind of worth and abundance that comes from within because you are being supported in who you truly are, which has been the problem most of our childhoods. We weren't supported being who we truly are. One of my clients asked me today about behavior versus emotion. How do I keep my power? Well, anger is a cover emotion for powerlessness. So when we rage out based on how we feel, we lose our power. When we can manage our emotion, reparent our emotion, give it the acknowledgement that it needs, and bring it into ourselves, and then respond from that place, we keep our power in our emotional experience. This makes us feel like we are enough. We feel like we are enough when we love who we are and we develop who we are from within, knowing we're enough regardless of you. Other people's opinions don't matter when I realize what mine is about myself. A client asked me this week, what's the whole thing about validation? Don't you get validation? I said, it's funny. When I was a model and an actress many, many years ago, I was looking for external validation so that I could internally validate. Doesn't work that way because external opinions are many. Then when I realized it wasn't working and I went within, I decided to get really, really specific about how I feel about me. What's going on inside of me? How do I feel about that? How do I feel about how I've been in life? How do I feel about where I want to go? And as soon as I got really clear on those things, I started sharing videos. And I really didn't care if people liked them or not. I did them because I needed to validate me and speak up on behalf of my truth and put that in the world without shame, with a lot of courage. And what started happening is people started really liking it because people resonate with honesty and authenticity. And so now when people say they love my videos, I'm like, that's amazing. And it's a nice addition, but it doesn't define me. I don't know what's going on with this. Truth talk. Sorry, it should not be plastic. That's a mistake. It doesn't validate my sense of self, but it validates that my work is worth it. And I really love that people love what I do, but it's not going to change what I do. See, when we're looking for external validation, we change ourselves based on opinion. When we know who we are, if people like my stuff or don't like my stuff, I really love that you do. But if you don't, it's not going to change what I do or who I am. That internal enoughness comes from getting really real about how we feel and then living in alignment with that and believing in that and linking up with the universe and being abundant in that and making a difference, not because someone else likes it or validates it, because you do. And you know that this is your calling within. So we need to stop looking outside of ourselves for the thing that we never got. We can give it to ourselves. We can self-validate. Another thing I want to mention, I had another client ask me this morning, Candace, how long should it take? And I said, my dear, the word should is in your head. The word could is right here. You have many possibilities. When the word should comes up, it means I've been conditioned to think. What you need to do is double check that. Do I still believe that this is a should, or could it be something else? When we start to upgrade our system and our subconscious mind with consciousness, we start to have transformations. So something to think about. If you're feeling you're not enough, what is that based on? Is it based on a childhood experience, an opinion, a societal guideline, or a universal law? Something to think about. You guys, love you so much. All my links are below for my monthly membership if you'd like to join us and be part of these discussions every week. If you'd like to join Emotional Rehab, we are starting enrollment again March 1st, and we are having a wait list right now. So if you'd like to get on, the link is below. Please share and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you soon.